Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening to you. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Forgotten Favorites. As we finish out the month of August, each and every day, we're taking a look at some cool rarities, obscurities, little talked about albums from unknown bands, known bands, maybe forgotten or unheard of by most. But certainly favorites of mine. So this is, it's funny. I don't think I even mentioned this throughout this entire month while we've been running this program. But back when we first started Sea of Tranquility, the YouTube channel, back in 2014, basically all we did back then was maybe once or twice a week I would do new product reviews. It was kind of just an extension of the webzine. And at the end of each new product review, I would do a forgotten favorites where I would pull something out of my collection, kind of like a little rarity like this. So I did that at the end of every single episode we did. That's funny how I forgot all about that. It's a long time ago, 7 years ago. But now we have resurrected it each and every day during August, and we're going to do a once a month Forgotten Favorites segment coming up where we'll probably take a look at like five to 10 of these type of releases for each episode, one day a month. So that's what's coming up. So, but stay tuned next month in September where we're going to be doing 30 days, 30 years of classic live albums or my favorite live albums. So we're probably going to start from the late 60s and go into the 90s. Each day of the month is going to be a different year, and I'm going to pick my favorite live album from that year and my runner-up, and I'm going to ask you guys to do the same. So that's coming up next month, so stay tuned. It's only a little over a week away, right? So today we're going to go to Japan, 2004. They classified these guys as jazz fusion, but I'm thinking it's definitely a healthy dose of prog. There's even some prog metal here, but certainly lots of fusion, right? There's some jazzy bits, but it's the perfect kind of blending of jazz fusion or jazz rock, progressive rock, and some progressive metal. I'm talking about the self-titled release from Exivision. Yes, indeed, you do see a crack in the case. I don't have many of those. When I pulled this one out of my stacks a couple days ago, I was like, oh, that one needs a replacement. Don't normally have cracks in my cases because I take pretty good care of my CDs. I don't just kind of throw them all over the place and, jam them here and there and drop them and all this kind of thing. So my guess is I've had this for a long time. I probably got this shortly after it came out. So my guess is it either came like this and I never replaced it, or somehow in moving from boxes and things, it got a little crack in it, but I will be replacing that. But anyway, back to the album at hand. So we've got 8 tracks on here, all instrumental. I'm going to read to you the name of the guys in the band. Hopefully I won't butcher these too much. We got Hiroyuki Namba on keyboards. We've got the leader of the band, Akira Wada, on guitars. The guy's really good. I thought all these guys were great players. Toshimi Nagaya on fretless bass. And, oh boy, Koji Hasegawa on drums. So it's a 4-piece. Guitars, keys, bass, and drums. All instrumental. 8 tracks. Pretty hard-hitting stuff. I don't know if there's really that much to show here in the booklet. Let's take a, it's got this pretty, nondescript album cover, and then here are the guys in the band. And again, like I said, 2004, this came out. I believe they only have a couple of releases. But pretty sizzling stuff here. I don't know. Planet X, Brand X, maybe a little Tribal Tech, not quite as jazzy as Tribal Tech, but probably closer to Planet X. Planet X also kind of did a lot of prog and a lot of prog metal in their little style. So probably like that, although a little more, what's the word, Sean? A little more melodic, I think, a little more ear-friendly, whereas Planet X really, really aggressive. But these guys get pretty aggressive as well. This almost sounds like it could have come from the 80s. It's got a very 80s production style, and some of the songs are kind of that way. You got Scent of a Nova, really cool track, which opens up. Double Down, pretty intense, lots of good guitar and synth solos in that. Icebound is really good. You've got Other Side. In fact, Icebound, pretty sure it's Icebound, maybe it's Other Side, I don't know, it's hard to remember sometimes. Approaching prog metal. A lot of, big riffing and lots of really nimble rhythms and stuff like that. You got the very cool Night View. Then track number 6 is all with Japanese symbols, so I don't really know what it stands for, but it's 9 minutes long. A lot of kind of ethnic flavors in that tune, but lots of great textures. Then you got Windine, which is kind of weather report-ish, almost. Very melodic, very kind of atmospheric and meditative, really cool. And then it ends with Fairy Tale, which is the last track on here, track number 8. And that, if you Fairy Tale. Just think of the title, right? Sounds like could be a 70s prog rock song, right? It's exactly what it sounds like. Get rid of no vocals. It's very proggy, lots of keyboard textures, really, really nice. It's got that kind of fantasy feel to it. Really, really cool. But and I would say like the first half of the CD is you're definitely your more hard driving fusion. A lot of really complicated rhythms, plenty of blazing guitar and keyboard solos, a lot of fretless bass if you like fretless bass, plenty of it here. And the back end, the second half of the CD is a little bit mellower, but still really, really interesting musically and a lot to say. These guys are very melodic. It's very professional sounding production. It's almost kind of slick to a point. I think they're, if you are familiar with some of the other Japanese fusion bands, I know Kenso kind of comes to mind. Not that far removed from Kenso. I think Kenso probably take a little bit more chances with their music than Exivision does, but it's very comparable. If you like Kenso, I think you'll really like these guys. So check this out. This is well worth seeking out. Exivision, it's spelled ExhiVision, but of course you'll see that in the description of the video below. Self-titled from 2004. That is our forgotten favorite of the day. Check it out if you haven't. If you're a Fusion fan, I think you will totally dig this. So, but also you prog fans, if you just like the really good instrumental prog, lots of great guitars and keys and really cool rhythms. This is a keeper, folks. This is a keeper. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Coming up tonight, we've got the Hudson Valley Squares. Tonight's topic, our favorite hard rock and metal releases of 1975. That's right. We are going to, we're doing the 1975 thing once again. Last week was in the prog seat. Today, that was our prog and fusion favorites from 75. Tonight, we're going to go our hard rock and metal favorites from 1975. So, but although 1975, was there really such a thing called heavy metal? So it'll be probably hard rock and, the heavier stuff, right, of the day. Not quite metal yet, but getting there. So that's coming up tonight. So stay tuned for that. Later on, then we've got, we don't have it in the prog seat for this week. We're going to be taking Tuesday off this week, but Wednesday we're coming back. We've got brand new releases from Pact and Focus. That will probably be what we're covering this week on Wednesday. Thursday is the Monsters Den. Chris Sallow and I will be ranking our 5 favorite Dario Argento horror/giallo classics. And then Friday morning at the Funhouse between Martin Popoff and myself. Once again, our topic this week is a pretty interesting one, and actually kind of the genesis of this topic came up in the show we did last week. We're going to be talking about each 5 albums that we fully admit are not that consistent top to bottom, but because of a handful of tracks on them, elevates the album in our eyes to greatness and forces us to rank those albums really, really high, even though there's probably other albums in the catalogs of these bands that are more consistent and are better top to bottom. But because these albums have those couple of songs, we love them even more, right? So that's coming up on Friday, so stay tuned for that. Should be an interesting show to see what we've come up with. And, of course, don't forget, Sunday is the day for album homework assignment. We've got George LeMay and Rand Kelly going head-to-head. They've got their assignments. They've been spending time with their albums, and they're going to talk about them on Sunday's show, what they liked about them, what they didn't like. Are they going to buy it? Are they just going to stream it? Or are they going to forget it? That is coming up on Sunday, so do not miss that. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already, and make sure you get notified of all of our content as they post. We've got the link to our Ko-Fi page below if you want to make a channel donation, as well as the link to our merch page for all the cool Sea of Tranquility stuff. I see so many folks out there wearing their Sea of Tranquility gear, guests on the show, all sorts of stuff. So really great to hear people going out and buying their stuff and showing it off and wearing it proudly, as well as the link to seatranquility.org, the webzine that has now been on the internet for 20 years this year. It is our 20-year anniversary of Sea of Tranquility. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. We'll see you here on YouTube all the damn time. That's right. Take care. Bye-bye.